Okay, shall we start now? So this is our first lecture, uh, and first time I'm teaching to your batch until now up to third year, second semester. There is no direct connection in between me and you, uh, as I'm always dealing with third year student and final year student. So there is no direct contact me and you. Some of the students can connect have connected in a past through related some activities like placement activities, like training activities, and small issues related to their academics. So this is my first lecture on your batch, and I'm dealing with heat transfer subject. Okay, so the university code for this subject is ME323. Okay, and the name of the subject is heat transfer, and I'm Vikram Sawan. Okay, so we'll move ahead to my introduction. It's my humble opportunity to introduce myself in front of you. Okay, so I am Vikram Sawan, and my basic graduation is in mechanical engineering, and after that, I have completed my master's in heat power. Near about 4.5 years of teaching experience, and the whole experience in our college only. Then in this 4.5 years of experience, I taught different kinds of subjects. So here you can see that HMT, I have mentioned the HMT. So HMT means heat and mass transfer. Okay. So the name of the subject is changed for your batch only. You are the first batch for whom the name of the subject is changed. But previously it was HMT. Okay. So heat and mass transfer. Now it is heat transfer only. Okay. So mass transfer is removed from the syllabus and it becomes now heat transfer only. Okay, so previously it was heat and mass transfer. So I have taught that subject 3 times, and you are the fourth batch to whom I am teaching this heat transfer subject. Then FMFP 2 times, fluid machinery and fluid power. Now this subject is now divided in 2 sections. One part is assigned for second year student and one part is assigned for third year student. So in the last semester, I was dealing with the POM subject, so that the fluid power part goes to, I think, Dowde sir, and the FM part, that is fluid machinery part, taught by Kale sir and Gauri sir, maybe. In which division you were, the subject teacher will be, subject teacher was Kale sir, maybe, or the Gauri sir also. Then one time I taught industrial engineering subject, and in the last semester I was teaching production operation management. Okay, and in this semester, once again, it's my kindness, or we can say that the great opportunity given by department to teach this subject fourth time. Okay, and it's one kind of students are speaking about this subject, that the subject is very hard, and there are so many problems, there are so many derivations, and there are so many concepts. But the biggest point about the subject is that when the subject is hard, the students studies in this manner that this subject is very hard and I need to focus more on this subject. And because of that thinking of a student, my subject uh, result is always 90% above. Okay, my subject result is always 90% above, and every time the good result given by all the batches. And I hope in future also I can expect from your side you will give the good result for this subject. Okay, as I early mentioned that the initially the subject name was HMT, heat and mass transfer. Now the subject name is changed to heat transfer. Okay, so uh, if you are referring the previous question paper, in that also you have to segregate the question in a such a manner that whatever the part is neglected from our subject, that questions you should not tackle with that particular questions. Okay, so then I think here by mistakenly I have mentioned the industrial experience 1 year, but I have 2 years of experience. 1 year after completion of my graduation, I got selected in ASPI group of companies through Campus Drive, and I worked as for more than 4 to 5 months. I worked as a trainee engineer, and then afterward, uh, the another responsibility handed by the company as a production engineer. Then after 1 year, I switched to Akar Foundry Private Limited. Worked near about 1 year as a marketing and costing engineer. Okay, so there may be a question in your mind that as a mechanical engineer, how one can deal with the costing and marketing type of concepts. But uh, uh, this section in a foundry industries or in a mechanical core industries plays vital role, and it is the part of a development of industries. Okay, so it is a glamorous field in a mechanical core sector. Okay, you need not to means what you need to work in AC cabins, and you have to perform your task. That's it only. Okay, so it is one kind of a glamorous work of a mechanical engineer, uh, like IT sector. You have to deal with the balance sheets. You have to deal with the customers. Okay, and you have to give the presentations. You have to present your company uh, in in front of huge companies like Tata Motor, like Mahindra and Mahindra. If you are manufacturing small components of that company, then the big companies are your customers, and you have to present your company in front of these types of companies, big short companies, you can say. And you have to deal with them as a part of a marketing, and you have to tackle with the problems, and you have to establish the good relationship with the customer. So that kind of a marketing and costing engineer. Then most important part in the costing is related to the finance. So you should have some finance knowledge while entering as a costing engineer in a core companies, and that will be the extra advantage for the mechanical engineer. So most of the people which are working in this particular sector completed their master degree in in operation research, as we can say that MBA in operation research, and they are dealing with this type of opportunities. Okay, so this is my small introduction. Then we, next slide says that university teaching and examination scheme. Okay, so as university curriculum established for this particular subject, university has given 3 lecture per week and 2 hours practical per week. Okay, so it is for offline, but now we are dealing online, so that the number of lectures also increased, and we are trying to fetch number of students for the practicals also, but we are getting the less response. As we are trying to approach to college for the practical purpose, then and then only it will be possible to conduct the practicals. Okay, so whenever it is possible, at the time of HMT practicals, you should be in a college only, because if you see this examination scheme. Okay, if you see this examination scheme, so end semester examination, that is ESE, having 70 marks. Internal examination, that is ISE, having 30 marks. ICA, that is the part of a term work, having 25 marks. And the last one is POE, that is practical oral examination, having 25 marks. Okay, so for the practical oral examination, okay, you need to perform the practicals, and then only you will get the marks. Okay, so for that purpose, the heat transfer practicals are very important, and as you are going to perform the practicals, more and more concepts will be understood by you, and that will be easy to understand the subject in detail. Okay, so we are having the practical oral examination. So at the time of examination, if in future physically you are present, you are present in colleges, then you have to perform the experiments, and then only you will get the marks. Okay, so this is the examination scheme. So that is near about 150 marks are assigned for this subject. Okay, so 25 marks more than other subjects. So we can say that the more advantage to students to score more in this. If you score more, then your CGPA will increase, and your percentile will also get increased. Okay, so the subject is very much important, and it will clear your ideas related to different applications also. Okay, now what you required before start of this heat transfer subject. Okay, so that is prerequisite, what knowledge you should have before before start of studying this particular type of application oriented subject. So basic knowledge of basic mechanical engineering that you have studied in first year, then applied thermodynamics. Okay, the knowledge of applied thermodynamics that you have studied in second year. So that basic knowledge you required to study the heat transfer subject. Okay, to study and to understand the heat transfer subject. So presently in third year you are studying heat transfer subject. In future, in next year, you are going to study refrigeration and air conditioning. So for that particular subject, the prerequisite will be the heat transfer subject. Okay, so to understand the concept of a heat transfer, you should have the basic knowledge of a basic mechanical engineering, then the basic knowledge of applied thermodynamics engineering, and presently you are studying the heat transfer subject. And to understand the refrigeration and air conditioning concept, you should have the basic knowledge of a heat transfer subject. Okay, so the subject is more interesting if you apply your logic, if you imagine the concepts, and if you are having the conceptual knowledge of the subject, then the subject will be more interesting, because the subject is a basic for all uh, heat transfer analysis softwares. Okay, it is a basic subject for all heat transfer analysis softwares. Let us consider the CFD software, computational fluid dynamics software, ANSYS Fluent software. Okay, so these are the software which are used in the industries for the analysis purpose. Okay, for the analysis purpose, and the good package will be assigned to the employees those are working on this particular sector. Okay, and to understand this software and to apply the knowledge of core mechanical engineering, and to work in this particular software section related to the heat transfer, you should have the basic knowledge related to heat transfer. Okay, further, in refrigeration and air conditioning, there are so many softwares which will be used for the load calculation, and for the air conditioning purpose, what scenario should be there, so that or to design the refrigeration and air conditioning system. There are many softwares, and for that also you should have some basic knowledge related to the heat transfer. Okay, so this is the prerequisite part of this subject. Then uh, we are moving towards the subject title. Okay, so in number of time you heard the uh, definition of heat and what is meant by transfer. Okay, so heat is nothing but what? The energy in transient is nothing but heat. Okay, the energy in transient state. Okay, so what is meant by transient? Transient means transfer from one place to another place. That is nothing but transient. Okay, so energy in transient is nothing but heat, and transient means transfer from one place to another place. That is nothing but what? The energy which is always transforming from one place to another place, or from one region to another region. That kind of a imaginary energy is nothing but what? Heat. Imaginary means what? We can't see that things. Okay, we can't see that thing. So we are always saying that it is a one kind of a imaginary energy. So we are dealing in this subject with a heat, which is a concept of a imagination, which is a concept of a imagination. So so that you should have a good imagination power to understand the concept. Okay, so the next uh, if you segregate the chapter subject name as heat and transfer, we have we are dealing with the heat, and then the transfer means what? Transfer of region, transfer of people, transfer of things from one place to another place. That is nothing but a transfer. So here the two combination, that is heat and transfer, means heat transfer. Okay, so heat transfer means what? The transition of energy from one region to another region as a result of temperature gradient. Okay, the most important thing is nothing but a temperature. Heat is always dealing with the temperature. Okay, so here when the if you take the scenario that one region is having high temperature and one region is having low temperature, okay, and these two regions are connected with each other. Okay, so how the heat will transfer, or from which region to which region heat will transfer? Okay, whether it will transfer from high temperature region to low temperature region, or low temperature region to high temperature region. What do you think? So please, you can mention in the chat box also your answers. So what do you think? Whether the heat will transfer or the energy will transfer from high temperature region to low temperature region, or low temperature region to high temperature region? High to low. Okay, high to low. Okay, that's great. Okay, so heat is always transforming from high temperature region to low temperature region. Okay, so that is the basic fundamental about the heat. Okay, and that we have studied in first law of thermodynamics. Okay, but the second law dealing with some kind of heat pump, and it is about the refrigeration also. If you want to transfer the heat from low temperature region to the high temperature region, then you have to do some work on that particular device, and that is nothing but a heat pump. So second law of thermodynamics, which is saying that without doing any external work, you can't transfer the heat from low temperature region to the high temperature region. Okay, so that is about the heat transfer. Okay, so here I have mentioned one thing, that dt divided by dx. Okay, so dt divided by dx is always a temperature gradient. Okay, here temperature gradient is mentioned. Here the temperature change have not mentioned. I have not mentioned the temperature change. I have mentioned the temperature gradient. Okay, so temperature gradient means what? Change in temperature with respect to distance. Okay, change in temperature with respect to distance is nothing but a temperature gradient. You'll understood one by one the concept, but initially you refer uh, uh, this particular temperature gradient as dt divided by dx. Okay, so that is nothing but change in temperature with respect to change in distance. Okay, so the transmission of energy from one region to another region as a result of a temperature gradient is nothing but a heat transfer. So to transfer the heat from one region to another region, the basic condition is that there should be a temperature gradient in between that two regions. Okay, there should be a temperature gradient in between that two regions. Okay, then and then only the heat will transfer from one region to another region. Okay, so please write down some important parts so that it will be easy to you to understand the further things. Okay, so start with the heat. Okay, so first of all, you prepare one notebook, and it should be a 200 pages, because the subject is very lengthy and there are so many concepts. So that you prepare 200 pages notebook, and it is also insufficient to cover all the points in that particular one notebook only. Okay, so keep reading another one also. Start with the heat. What is meant by heat? First of all, prepare one notebook. In that, give the title heat transfer. Then what is meant by heat? Energy. The heat is nothing but energy in transient. The energy in transient. The energy in transit. The energy in transit is termed as heat. It's termed as heat. It's termed as heat. Energy in transit is termed as heat. Okay, getting? Everyone getting this concept? What is meant by heat? The energy in transit is termed as heat. And what is meant by transit? Transit means transfer from one place to another place. Okay, transfer from one place to another place. Okay, now in case of heat, so that transfer will be happen from high temperature region to low temperature region. Okay, in case of heat, the transfer will be happen from high temperature region to low temperature region. Then transfer, what is meant by transfer? Transfer means transfer of a region or things or material from one region to another region, or the transfer of a region from one place to another place. Transfer of a region from one place to another place. Okay, one place to another place. So combinedly we can define as a heat transfer. Okay, combinedly we can define heat transfer as the transmission of energy, the transmission of energy from one region to another region, the transmission of energy from one region to another region as a result of temperature gradient, as a result of temperature gradient. If you are saying only temperature change, then we have to write T1 minus T2, that will be considered as a DT only. Okay, so if you say the higher temperature is T1 and the lower temperature is T2, then temperature change will be T1 minus T2. And if you are saying the temperature gradient, then it will be change in temperature divided by change in distance. Okay, so that is dt divided by dx. Okay, so total distance, if you are considering as a x, then change in distance will be considered as a dx, or change in length we have to consider it as a dx. So temperature gradient will be dt divided by dx. Temperature gradient will be dt divided by dx. Okay, so this is about the subject title. Shall we move ahead to the next point? Please comment in the chat box. If you have any question, any query, then you can mention in chat box, or you can ask directly by unmuting your sound, and you can ask directly also. Okay, and if you have any problem related to voice, related to PPTs, then also you can mention in the chat box, or you can unmute and you can ask directly. Okay, whether you understood or not, please mention in comment box. Okay. Okay, shall we move it? Now, the subject. Okay, okay. Thank you. Now, subject is surrounding around, or we can say that it is moving around three concepts only, three basic concepts. And that three basic concepts are mentioned in only one image. Okay, so subject is around this only one image you can say. Okay, so we can say that the woods are burning. Okay, and one person is sitting too near that particular burning woods, and one person is sitting away from that particular heat or that fire, and one person holding one rod and keeping that particular rod inside the fire. Okay, so uh, now in this case, now consider this particular person uh, which is holding one rod and keeping that rod or one end of that rod inside the fire. Okay, so what will happen? What will happen? The rod will get heated. Okay, this end of rod will get heated, but after some time, that particular person will feel the heat at another end. Okay, that person will feel the heat at another end, but we are deeping only one end inside the fire. Then also the heat is transferring from this end to this end. Okay, so this concept of a heat transfer within a substance is called as a conduction. What I'm saying, getting everyone? The concept of a heat transfer within a substance from one part of a substance to another part is known as a conduction. Is known as a conduction. Now consider the another person holding their hand somewhat away from the fire. Okay, another person holding their hand somewhat away from the fire. Okay, but he also feel, or he or she also feel the heat, and that heat is transforming from, or that heat is transforming through air or through medium. Okay, so he can feel that there is heat coming from the fire towards his hand, towards her hand. Okay, so that is nothing but what, here the heat is that person is holding the hand away from the fire. Okay, now the heat is transforming through the medium and it is reaching towards the object. Okay, heat is transforming through the medium. The heat is using the medium and it is transforming to another region, that is nothing but, or towards the object, that is nothing but that person hand, and the heat will be filled by, or that person feel the heat. Okay, so transformation of heat by using the fluid medium, transformation of a heat by using the fluid medium is nothing but convection. Is nothing but convection. Now whether you understood what is meant by conduction? Conduction is nothing but what? Transfer of heat within a substance or within two substances which are physically in contact. Okay, if two substances are physically in contact, then also heat can be transferred. Okay, within a substance or two substances which are in a physical contact from one region to another region. Obviously that one region is nothing but what? Higher temperature region, and another region is nothing but what? Lower temperature region. So from higher temperature region to the lower temperature region, heat is transferred within a substance. Okay, so that is nothing but a conduction, and heat is transforming through medium or through fluid medium. Okay, so that is nothing but what? The convection. Now the last one is nothing but a radiation. You are sitting somewhat away from the fire. Okay, you are sitting somewhat away from the fire, then also you are feeling the heat, or that particular person is feeling the heat. Okay, now there is no, now we can say that there is less medium transformation if you are sitting away from the fire. Okay, but then also that particular person feeling the heat. Okay, why? Because we know that, or another example for this, the sun is very much far from our mother earth. Okay, then also we get energy from that particular sun. Okay, and there is no medium in between sun and earth, then also we are getting heat from sun rays. Okay, because of the electromagnetic waves, and these waves are traveling with light waves. Okay, these waves are traveling with light waves, and these electromagnetic waves carrying the heat, and where they are bombarding, they they are releasing the heat in the form of a quantum energy. Okay, they are releasing the heat in a quantum energy. So the heat transformation does not require a medium that is called as a radiation. Heat transformation does not require a medium that is nothing but a transformation, that is nothing but a radiation. So that this particular person which is sitting very much away from the fire also feel the heat, or also feel the energy because of a radiation heat transfer, because of a radiation heat transfer. And this radiation heat transfer happen because of a electromagnetic waves. This radiation heat transfer happen because of a electromagnetic waves. This electromagnetic waves are always traveling with light waves. Okay, this electromagnet, or we can say that the speed of light is equal to the speed of electromagnetic waves, and where they are bombarding, they are releasing their energy to that particular object. Okay, so our basic idea of a subject is surrounding to these 3 points only, and these 3 points I have mentioned in one picture only. Okay, so one is conduction, second one is convection, and third one is a radiation. Third one is a radiation. Whether everyone getting this point? Please mention in the comment box. Any problem, any question? Whether you understood what is meant by the basic strata of our subject. Okay, so conduction, convection, radiation. Okay, this is the basic strata of our subject. Okay, and this heat transfer is depends on one part only, that is the temperature gradient. Okay, heat is transfer because of a temperature gradient only. Temperature gradient only. Temperature gradient means what? Change in temperature with respect to distance. Change in temperature with respect to distance. Okay, so this is our basic idea of about the heat transfer subject. Okay, now we are actually now on our syllabus. Okay, so syllabus is very vast. Okay, so you can see that the first chapter syllabus is this much. Okay, and the first chapter is divided in 3 sectors. Okay, or 3 sections. So the unit number 1 is conduction. In that unit 1, we are studying the 3 sections. First one is modes of heat transfer, then steady state heat conduction, and the last one is unsteady state heat conduction. Okay, so in modes of heat transfer, we are going to study 3 different modes, and the basic laws are related to these 3 different modes, that is convection, conduction, and radiation. So the basic laws, that is the Fourier law, then Stefan Boltzmann law related to radiation, and the Newton's law of cooling related to convection. Okay, so these 3 laws we are going to study in this particular modes of heat transfer part. Then the steady state heat conduction. Okay, so steady means what? Steady means what? There is no change in any system. There will be no change further in that particular system. That is nothing but steady. So steady temperature, we can say that the steady flow. Okay, so that is the steady state. Okay, so in this section, we are going to derive the generalized heat conduction equation in a Cartesian coordinate system, and we are going to reduce that equation in a Fourier's, Laplace, Poisson's equations. These are the different forms of a conduction equation. Then we are dealing with the different kinds of geometries also, and the heat transfer through that particular geometries. So first geometry is nothing but what? The cylindrical, or first geometry is wall. Okay, भिंत आपण ज्याला म्हणतो, the wall. And the second one is the cylindrical or spherical, and the spherical coordinate system. Okay, cylindrical system, then or we can say that the cylinder, then the sphere. Okay, so there is no derivation for the cylinder and sphere. But the important thing is nothing but what? The generalized heat conduction equation. Okay, most important derivation from this particular chapter. Okay, so there is a derivation for cylinder also, there is a derivation for the sphere also, and its reduction to one dimensional. Okay, so one dimensional heat transfer. These uh, uh, these derivations are 3D derivations, and further we are reducing to one dimensional heat transfer. Okay, so this one dimensional is useful for plain wall, then cylinder, then sphere, then composite wall, then composite cylinder, then composite sphere. Okay, then important part is nothing but critical radius of insulation. Okay, most important thing from this particular section is critical radius of insulation for cylinder. Okay, so simple application is nothing but our insulated wire. Okay, so how much diameter should be provided to insulate the wire. Okay, आपण साधी एखादी इलेक्ट्रिकल वायर बघतो तर त्याच्यावरती एक प्लास्टिकचं इन्सुलेशन दिलेलं असतं किंवा एका मटेरियलचं इन्सुलेशन दिलेलं असतं. आत कॉपरची वायर असते आणि वरनं इन्सुलेशन दिलेलं असतं. तर त्याचा डायमीटर किती असला पाहिजे. ओके, समजा तुम्ही एखाद्या पाईप मधून गरम पाणी एका ठिकाणावरून दुसऱ्या ठिकाणी ट्रान्सफर करताय, तर तुमचा हीट लॉस होऊ नये. ओके, टेम्परेचर लॉस होऊ नये त्यासाठी तुम्हाला त्या पाईपला इन्सुलेशन करावं लागेल. ओके, तर ते किती असलं पाहिजे इन्सुलेशन. ओके, so these things are having more sector while dealing with the various types of a heat exchanger, while dealing with the thermal industries. We can say that thermo power plants. So this is the application oriented point, that is critical radius of insulation for cylinders and the spheres. Then one dimensional steady state heat conduction with equation with uniform heat generation. Okay, so take the example of our press iron. Okay, इस्त्री आपण ज्याला म्हणतो. सो त्या केसमध्ये हे साधं एक्झाम्पल झालं की हीट कंटिन्युअसली जनरेट होते त्या इक्विपमेंट मध्ये. किंवा आपण साधा हीटर घेऊया, पाणी गरम करायचा हीटर. तर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोव्हाइड करतोय आपण त्या हीटरला आणि तो हीट जनरेट करतोय. ओके, आणि तो पुढे जाऊन ऍप्लिकेशन काय करतोय, तर पाणी गरम करण्याचं ऍप्लिकेशन, काही काय असं ना, पाणी असू द्या, दुसरं कोणतीही गोष्ट असू द्या, तर ते गरम करण्याचं ऍप्लिकेशन करतोय. तर त्या केसमध्ये heat transfer rate काय असू शकेल. ओके, so that is nothing but uniform heat generation, steady state heat conduction with uniform heat generation for walls and cylinders. Okay, and this section having the numerical treatment. Okay, then we are discussing this for the steady. Then there will be unsteady state heat conduction. Okay, so the things are changing continuously. That is nothing but we can say that the terminology like flow rate, the pressure, the temperature at particular point, it is not constant. That will be unsteady state heat conduction. Okay, so the system with negligible internal resistance, Biot number, Fourier number, and their significance. Then lumped heat capacity analysis, and this part is only for the descriptive treatment. Okay, so there will be two descriptive treatment section and one numerical treatment section. Okay, so numericals on wall, numericals on a cylinder, and numericals on a spheres are having more weightage in this particular part. Okay, so this particular chapter having 6 marks for the end semester examination. Okay, so 2 marks for modes of heat transfer, 4 marks for the steady state heat conduction, and 2 marks for the unsteady state heat conduction. But in actual, it is having more weightage, near about 12 to 14 marks weightage will be there for this particular chapter. Okay, then the second unit is extended surfaces. Okay, what is meant by extended surfaces? So the extended surfaces, in a simple language, it is called as a fins. Okay, fins. So if you see the if you are having a bike, your father bike or your sister bike or your brother bike. Okay, and in that you can see that in bike one engine will be there, and there are some extruded part from that particular engine. That will be nothing but a fins. Okay, extruded part from the surface is called as a fins or a extended surfaces. Okay, so this is the one of the application of a heat transfer or the conduction heat transfer. okay, and which will be used to enhance the heat transfer from particular surfaces. Okay, so in a simple language, if there is no scope for uh, for the extra surfaces, or we can say that, okay, so this will be somewhat technical, but I want to mention over here, uh, ज्या वेळेस म्हणजे जे हीट ट्रान्सफर असतं ते कधी पण सरफेस एरियाला डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल असतं. ओके, म्हणजे जो रेट आहे, हीट ट्रान्सफर होण्याचा रेट आहे, तो कधी पण सरफेस एरिया जेवढा अवेलेबल आहे त्याला प्रोपोर्शनल असतं. म्हणजे काय, याचं मिनिंग काय आहे, जेवढा सरफेस एरिया तुम्ही वाढवाल तेवढा हीट ट्रान्सफर होण्याचा रेट वाढेल. ओके, हीट ट्रान्सफर होण्याचा रेट वाढेल. सिंपल एक्झाम्पल सांगतो तुम्हाला आता, सिंपल वन. कप बशी. ओके, चहा पिताना कप बशी. जर आता तुम्ही थोडे स्टायलिश असू शकता, फक्त कपाने चहा पिऊ शकता, पण तुमचे वडील, आई, कोणीतरी चहा पिताना कपात जो चहा आहे तो आपण बशीत ओततो आणि मग पितो. ओके, जर असं करत असेल तर त्या केसमध्ये काय करतो आपण, जो चहाला जो सरफेस एरिया अवेलेबल असतो कपामध्ये तो कमी असतो. त्यामुळे काय होतं, तर हीट ट्रान्सफर कमी होते. मग आपण तो बशीत ओतल्यानंतर सरफेस एरिया, तर चहासाठी अवेलेबल असणारा सरफेस एरिया काय होतो, वाढतो, आणि त्यामुळं मॅक्झिमम हीट ट्रान्सफर होते आणि चहा लवकर थंड होतो. ओके, so this is the example of how the heat transfer rate is directly proportional to surface area. Now in a design problem, ओके, आता जर एक्झाम्पल घेतलं आपण कशाचं, इंजिनचं, तर इंजिनचं डिझाईन खूप कॉम्पॅक्ट असतं. ओके, आणि तिथं सरफेस एरिया वाढवायला काहीच वाव नसतो. ओके, सरफेस एरिया वाढवायला काहीच वाव नसतो. तर त्या केसमध्ये जो एक्सटेंडेड सरफेस आपण म्हणू शकतो किंवा फिन्स म्हणू शकतो, नंबर ऑफ फिन्स वी आर प्लेसिंग ऑन दॅट पर्टिक्युलर सिलेंडर or on that particular engine, and we are increasing the surface area available for the heat transfer. Okay, so it is requirement of that particular application to transfer the generated heat as early as possible from the surface to the atmosphere. So in that case we have to increase the surface area, and for that purpose we have to use the knowledge of extended surfaces, and we have to apply that knowledge to such a applications, and we have to increase the surface area in the sense of to increase the heat transfer rate. Okay, so that is nothing but extended surfaces. Types and application of fins, governing equations for constant cross section areas, area fins, then solution for fins with convective tip, adequate long with insulated end, and infinite long. Then fin effectiveness and efficiency numerical treatment. So there will be a 4 derivation on this particular chapter, and that will be the that will be related to different kinds of assumptions. Okay, so first assumption is nothing but what, the very long fin length will be there. In that case, what will be happen? Then if there is a insulation, okay, the end of the fin is insulated, so in that case what will be uh, heat transfer condition. Then if there is no insulation on the fin tip, in that case what will be the heat transfer condition. So like that there are 4 to 5 derivations will be there on this particular point. And the effectiveness, efficiency, we are dealing with this particular points in this heat extended surfaces section. Then the unit number 3 is radiation. Okay, so various laws related to radius, Stephen Boltzmann law, then cosine rule. There are 5-6 laws are there. Kirchhoff's law. Okay, Kirchhoff's law, Wien's law, Planck's law, Lambert cosine rule, intensity of radiation. So these concepts are so much imaginary concepts, so much we can say that having some technical knowledge required to understand this particular concept, like derivatives and integrations, which is related to the maths. That concepts are applied in this field, and the derivations are there related to the radiations. Okay, so You might be studied this particular what is meant by radiation in 12th physics. Okay, if you have completed the 12th, then you might be studied this particular point, radiation. So there are some definition like absorptivity, reflectivity, transmissivity, monochromatic emissive power, total emissive power, emissivity, concept of a black body, gray body. Then there are some laws, Kirchhoff's law, Wien's law, Planck's law, Lambert-Cosine rule, intensity of radiation, energy exchange by radiation between two black surfaces with non-absorbing medium in between, and in absence of a radiating surfaces, concept of a radiation shape factor and its properties. So it will have only descriptive. Then energy exchange by radiation between two gray surfaces without absorbing medium and absence of a re-radiation and radiosity, radiation network method, network for two surfaces which see each other. Okay, so this much syllabus under this particular chapter will be there. We are going to study. So 3 units for the first section and the 3 units for the second section. So in second section, we are going to study the unit number 4 as a convection. Okay, so this convection having two parts, forced convection and the natural convection. Okay, forced convection means what? Take the example of a fan. Okay, so if you are when you are coming inside the room and you are started the fan. Okay, so why you are starting the fan? Okay, so to reduce the temperature of your body as early as possible. Okay, and for that purpose you are taking the help of a fan. So that fan will force the air over your body. Okay, and it will help to transfer the heat of your body as early as possible to the surrounding. Okay, as early as possible to the surrounding. So we are using something external device to increase the heat transfer rate. So that is nothing but what? The forced convection. Okay, that is nothing but what? The forced convection. So convection we have defined. Okay, earlier we have discussed about the convection to transfer the heat transfer by using any medium. Okay, any fluid medium, that will be considered as a convection. And forced convection means what? If you are using any external device to force the medium over the object, okay, over the object, then the heat transfer from the object will be considered as a forced convection. Okay, and natural convection. Okay, so natural convection means what? Natural convection म्हणजे काय? Okay, so here I want to mention one technical term, that the density. Okay, density समजते? डेन्सिटी सगळ्यांना समजते. ओके, ज्यावेळेस समुद्राच्या पाण्याची वाफ होते. ओके, सिंपल एक्झाम्पल, ज्यावेळेस समुद्राच्या पाण्याची वाफ होते त्यावेळेस ती वाफ हवेपेक्षा हलकी असते, म्हणून ती वरती जाते, त्याचं ढगात रूपांतर होतं आणि त्यापासून पाऊस पडतो. राईट, सिंपल थिंग. हवेपेक्षा हलकी असते म्हणजे काय? हवेपेक्षा हलकी असते म्हणजे काय? ज्यावेळेस समुद्राच्या पाण्याची वाफ होते, ती वाफ हवेपेक्षा हलकी होत असते, त्यामुळे ती खूप उंचावर जाते, त्याचे ढग होतात आणि त्यापासून पाऊस पडतो. ओके, त्याचे ढग होतात आणि त्यापासून पाऊस पडतो. सिंपल एक्झाम्पल, हवेपेक्षा हलकी असते म्हणजे काय? इट मीन्स दॅट द डेन्सिटी ऑफ दॅट वेपर is lesser than the density of air, so that it will move in a upward direction. It will move in a upward direction, and at particular location it will convert into the cloud, and then the further things you know that. Okay, it will convert into the cloud. So this is nothing but what? The natural convection. The movement of fluid is happen naturally because of a density difference. Because of a density difference is nothing but what? Natural convection is nothing but what? The natural convection. समजते? लक्षात येते? आता ज्यावेळेस ती वाफ, ज्यावेळेस ते मीडियम किंवा ती आपण समुद्राचंच उदाहरण घेऊया, समुद्राची जी वाफ आहे, ज्यावेळेस ती त्या पाण्याचं वाफेत रूपांतर होतं त्यावेळेस ती काहीतरी हीट कॅरी करत असणार आहे. ओके, ती वाफ काहीतरी हीट कॅरी करत असणार आहे आणि त्याची डेन्सिटी कमी असणार आहे. आणि ज्यावेळेस ती वाफ वरती मूव्ह होत असणार आहे त्यावेळेस ती हीट पण कॅरी स्वतः बरोबर करत जाणार आहे. ओके, सो the medium transformation, okay, the fluid transformation, that is nothing but a convection, and it is happening naturally because of a density difference. It is happening naturally because of a density difference. It is called as a natural convection. It is called as a natural convection. Okay, so in forced convection, we are going to understand the mechanism of convection and its types, concept of hydrodynamic and thermal boundary layer. You might be studied this particular point, concept of a hydrodynamic and thermal boundary layer in a fluid mechanics. Okay, once again we are going to study this particular point because it having a large importance in a convection section, because in convection we are dealing with the fluid, we are dealing with the fluid and the heat transfer because of medium transformation, that is nothing but a convection. So for that purpose, these 2 points are having more weightage, that is concept of a hydrodynamic and thermal boundary layer. Then local and average convective heat convective coefficient, then dimensional analysis, dimensionless numbers and their physical significance, empirical correlations for internal and external flows in a forced convection problems. So it is having numericals also. Then the natural convection, what is meant by natural convection, that is introduction, dimensional analysis for the natural convection. I think we have done this particular point also, dimensional analysis in a fluid mechanics or fluid mechanics subject. Okay, so you know better what is meant by dimensional analysis and what is meant by dimensionless number. So Reynolds number is a dimensionless number, we can say that. Biot number is a dimensionless number, Fourier number is a dimensionless number, and how to find out this particular dimensionless number is nothing but dimensional analysis. So dimensionless numbers for the natural convection and their physical significance, then empirical correlations for natural convection and the problems on that particular empirical correlations. Okay, so this much syllabus for the unit number 4. Then the unit number 5 is nothing but boiling and condensation. Okay, so boiling means what? Conversion of water into a vapor, that is nothing but a boiling. And condensation means what? Conversion of a vapor into water, that is nothing but what? The condensation. But how it is useful in a technical terminologies for this particular subject, we are going to understand in this particular subject, that is boiling and condensation. So in this particular chapter we are going to study boiling heat transfer, types of boiling, pool boiling curves, forced boiling phenomenon, condensation heat transfer, film wise and drop wise condensation, then introduction of a heat pipe. Okay, most important point in the sense of application of this particular boiling and condensation, that is heat pipe. This is the device which is used most we can say that in most of the electronic devices. Okay, this component, heat pipe component, is used in most of the electronics devices, and it is having very high capacity to transfer the heat within a small area. Okay, so it founds very much interesting application. Okay, if you check your laptop also, then in that also one copper tube will be there, that will be nothing but a heat pipe only. Okay, in computers also, in very, you take any example of electronic devices, in that we can apply the heat pipe application. Okay, so but the price of this component is very much high, so that when we are going to apply this or do some heat transfer from the electronic devices, in that case the price of that device will be get increased. So introduction of heat pipe, in that construction working, what are the advantages and the applications. So this having only descriptive treatment. Okay, there will not be any derivation on this heat pipe. Then the last important chapter is nothing but a heat exchanger, which will found large number of application in the industrial sectors. Okay, so your boiler is one kind of a heat exchanger, your condenser is one kind of a heat exchanger, evaporator is one kind of a heat exchanger. Okay, so there are n number of application for the heat exchanger, and we are going to understand the different types of heat exchanger, then its classification, then the technical factors like a fouling factor, then overall heat transfer coefficient, analysis of LMTD and NTU. LMTD means logarithmic mean temperature difference, and NTU means number of transfer units. So these are two methods we are using to analysis the heat exchanger. Okay, LMTD and NTU method for parallel and counter flow. So there are here we can say that these are the types of a heat exchanger: parallel flow heat exchanger and the counter flow heat exchanger. In detail, we are going to study in this particular chapter. No worries. Then design consideration for heat exchanger, and it is having numerical treatment also. Okay. So this much syllabus for our subject. This much syllabus for our subject. Okay. So 6 chapters, total 6 chapters. For 3 chapter in first section and 3 chapter in second section. Okay. Is there any problem, any question, any doubt? You can ask. काही क्वेश्चन, काही प्रॉब्लेम, काही डाऊट आहे का? काही समजत नाही किंवा फास्ट होतंय असं पण सांगा. Okay. I will share this PPTs. You can note down the syllabus also. And from tomorrow's lecture, we are going to start our first chapter with first point, that is modes of heat transfer. Okay. So initially we have to understand what is the difference between the thermodynamics and heat transfer. Okay. As we are saying that the thermodynamics is a prerequisite for the heat transfer, but why we are studying this heat transfer after studying the thermodynamics, that need to understand. So we are dealing with the general difference between heat transfer and thermodynamic, and how this thermodynamic is useful, what are the different terminologies which we are going to use in a heat transfer. That will be studied in the next lecture, and then we are going to start our first chapter. Okay. So any question, any doubt? If not, then mention your roll numbers in the chat box. Okay. And you can leave. नाही. Join another lecture. Okay. If you mention your roll number in the chat box, then you can leave. ओंकार देवकर, राहुल सातपुते, आयुष काळे, जर तुम्ही तुमचा रोल नंबर चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये लिहिला असेल तर तुम्ही ही मीटिंग सोडू शकता. भूषण, सोहेल, आयुष काळे, ओंकार.